Hello students, in this video I am going to explain motion of a charged particle in combined electric and magnetic fields. That is, we are going to discuss velocity selector and cyclotron. Velocity selector helps us to select from a beam of charged particles a charged particle of a given velocity, and cyclotron is an equipment which is used for accelerating positively charged particles. Let us start the video. Let us first discuss velocity selector. Here we have considered a charged particle Q which is traveling horizontally with a velocity v and enters the region of crossed electric and magnetic fields. Let us see here. Here a charged particle Q is placed and it is moving horizontally along the x direction with a velocity v. The crossed electric and magnetic field means that both the fields are perpendicular to each other. This electric field is along the y direction and the magnetic field is along the z direction. As the particle is moving in x direction, it is experiencing a force due to the presence of electric field. This force will be along the direction of the electric field only. And as the particle is moving along the x direction and the magnetic field is along the z direction, so the particle will experience force due to this magnetic field also. As they both velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, it will experience the force given by F is equal to Q into V cross B, and its direction will be according to the Fleming's left hand rule, that is, the direction of the force due to the magnetic field will be perpendicular to the velocity and magnetic field direction. If you look carefully, this direction in the figure will be along the negative y-axis, and both the forces due to electric field and due to magnetic field are in opposite directions. So, to move the charge undeflected, the total force acting on the charge should be 0. This force will be 0 when the electric and magnetic fields are so adjusted that these two forces are equal in magnitude. Let us equate the two forces, that is, the electric force QE and the magnetic force QV cross B, like this. As it is perpendicular, it will come out to be the maximum magnetic force, that is BQV. Now from here the velocity is obtained as E upon B. This condition is used to select the charged particle of a particular velocity out of the beam containing charges moving with different speeds irrespective of their charge and mass. Therefore, the crossed electric and magnetic fields serve as velocity selector. That means only the particles which are having the speed of E upon B will be passing through undeflected from the region of crossed electric and magnetic fields. It is used in mass spectrometer to separate the charged particles according to their charge to mass ratio. Also, this method was used by J.J. Thomson in 1897 to measure the charge to mass ratio of an electron. Now let us start cyclotron. Cyclotron is a device which is used to accelerate charged particles or ions to high energies. It was invented by E.O. Lawrence and M.S. Livingstone in 1934. It uses electric and magnetic fields perpendicular to each other to increase the speed of the charged particle and hence the energy of the charged particle. It also uses the fact that frequency of the revolution of the charged particle in a magnetic field is independent of its energy. For this is the top view of the cyclotron. Here the magnetic field direction is downwards, that is into the plane of the paper, and this is the high frequency oscillator to give the electric field. Here there are two D-shaped metal containers, D1 and D2, and most of the time the particles move inside these two semicircular disc like metal containers. These are called as Ds because their shape is in the form of letter D. When the particle is in between these gaps, that is between the two metal semicircular discs in the gap, then the particle is acted on by electric field, and when the particle is inside these metal containers, they are shielded and hence only magnetic field acts on them. Suppose there is a positively charged particle P at the center of the two Ds, that is between the gap. At this time the D1 is negatively charged and D2 is positively charged. So this positively charged particle will get attracted towards D1. The particle is striking D1 perpendicularly, and by Fleming's left hand rule we are aware that a force acts on this particle, and we know that the particle will move in a circular path due to the presence of the magnetic field. Now, with the influence of the magnetic field, the particle follows the circular path since it is perpendicular to magnetic field, and it emerges out of the D1 after covering the semicircular disc in time interval T by 2. But at the same time the D2 becomes negative and D1 becomes positive. That means as soon as the particle comes out of D1, the polarities of Ds gets changed, and hence the particle P is accelerated to enter D2 and follows a circular path again. This procedure will be continued, and hence the particle will gain a very high speed, and finally it will come out to strike the target. At this instant the magnetic force is balanced by the centripetal force. Let the velocity of the particle be v and the magnetic force be F. So this force will be equal to BQV is equal to mv square by r. From here we have calculated the radius of the circular path, which is equal to mv upon bq. But if we look carefully from this expression, radius is directly proportional to the velocity of the particle. That means if the radius of the path increases, every time the velocity, or you can say the energy of the particle, also increases. As a result, the particle moves in a spiral path. So let us find out the maximum energy acquired by the particle. When the particle will move with maximum radius, that is the radius of the Ds, then the particle will be acquiring the maximum energy, because we know that velocity is directly proportional to radius, and when radius is maximum, the velocity will also be maximum, and hence its energy will also be maximum. So let us find the maximum velocity. It will be qbr upon m, where r is the radius of the Ds, and hence we can calculate the kinetic energy by the formula half mv square. So it will come out to be q square b square r square upon 2m. Now let us go through the resonance condition. The condition of resonance is that the time taken by the particle to describe or to complete the semicircular path should be equal to the time during which the d1 and d2 change their polarity. This condition is necessary to accelerate the particle between the gaps. That means as soon as the particle come out of one D, the polarity of the D's should interchange. Therefore, the frequency of the applied input voltage should be equal to the frequency of the cyclotron. The particle arrives in the gap between the D's in time interval T by 2, where T is the time period of complete revolution. So the particle will leave one semicircular D in the interval T by 2, and hence the cyclotron frequency will be 1 upon T, and the distance travelled in semicircular path of radius r will be semicircular path, so distance will be pi r, which is equal to time, which is T by 2, into velocity. Now let us rearrange this term so that cyclotron frequency can be accommodated. So we can calculate the expression for cyclotron frequency, which is equal to bq upon 2 pi m. It is also known as magnetic resonance frequency. Cyclotron angular frequency is given by omega c is equal to bq upon m. Now there are few limitations of cyclotron also, that only the speed of the circulating ion when less than the speed of light, then the frequency of revolution is independent of its speed. At higher speed, the mass of the ion will increase, and thus the time period of the revolution will be changed. So this result in lagging behind of the particle, and hence the particle will be lost by the collisions against the walls of the D's. It will remain in the D itself. Next limitation is that the cyclotron is suitable for accelerating heavy charged particles like proton, deuteron, alpha particle, etc. And the uncharged particles like neutrons cannot be accelerated by cyclotron. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.